and it's elevated the Knicks offense to historical. Literally, like I'm sitting here watching, like I can't believe what I'm watching. Landry Shamet going 11 of 12 from three. Josh Hart putting up a random 24-point game where he's hitting like five threes. OG Anunoby, his true shooting is like 70%. Mikal Bridges is, I think he's shot like 70% from the field in the playoffs since I think the Hawks series, which is like unfathomable to even think that Mikal Bridges is shooting at a historic rate. But I digress, and here we are now. But the Knicks, since Cat has kind of taken the ball in his hands and being the facilitator of the offense, it has rose the Knicks offense to heights that we literally quite never have ever seen before in an NBA team. It's kind of forced the hands out of Jalen Brunson, where he doesn't have to go ISO ball every play and every possession. Kind of felt like that's what they were doing the last 2 years with Brunson, be a lot of ISO ball, but they moved the ball. The bench is rolling. It's just I can't even believe it, guys. I really can't. Um, and just they are here. And I was one of the few people that had the similar take of like, whoever's coming out of the West is going to win the finals. I still believe that to this day. I think whoever's going to come out of the Spurs, OKC, and we'll talk about that later, is going to win the championship. But after seeing the Knicks and the past playoff run that they've had, there's just no way I can deny that. I simply can. I believe that the Knicks can win a series against either the Spurs or OKC. I think they match up well against the OKC, the Thunder, if the Thunder get there and they're fully healthy. I think the Spurs, that's probably their better chance of winning and beating the Spurs. But like they could do it. I think the Spurs can. I think they could beat the Spurs in a 7-game series because we saw last year how great OKC was and how dominant they were. The little old Pacers, who were very much an underdog, and how great they were playing offensively, they took OKC to 7 games. So the Knicks can absolutely. They can win the NBA, as much as it pains me to say. They can win the NBA Finals and they can win a championship. Um, if they're playing like this, but I just don't believe that they're going to be this level of great in offensively in the finals because the Spurs and OKC, they have the best perimeter defenders in the NBA. They have probably the best defender in the world right, not probably the best defender in the world right now in Victor Wembanyama. So it's like, you know, there you just watch the two level of comparisons with the Spurs and OKC defensively compared to the Eastern Conference Finals. It's a different stratosphere. So it's like I think the Knicks can absolutely win the series, but it's going to be harder for them because the Spurs and OKC aren't going to let Josh Hart and Landry Shamet and OG shoot wide open threes. They're not going to let them shoot wide open threes all game. I'm just playing. I'm just telling you right now. They're not going to be able to shoot that many level of wide open threes all game, or it's going to be that easy where the Cavs aren't running back on defense, and we'll get to that too. It's the effort, the level of effort between both teams. It's going to be there in the finals. It's going to be harder. This is going to be the hardest series the Knicks will ever face. I know that's not a blazing hot take, but it'll be the hardest 4 games that they're going to be able to win in the finals because one, this is not the East. They're not going against the Cavs or Philly or any of these teams. It's going to be harder because the Spurs and the OKC, they're the two best, in my opinion, they were the two best teams in the NBA this year. They both had 60 wins. They both have MVP caliber players. They both have elite defenses that are not going to be lazy on defense or not going to be late on rotations, not going to be lazy in the paint, whatnot and the other. But I think the Knicks, if they were to play the Spurs, like you got to have Wemby out of the paint because Cat can shoot. That's an advantage. Another advantage. The Knicks just swept, so they won't play for another 7 days because the finals is next Wednesday on June 3rd. They'll have rest. The Spurs and OKC, I predict them going to 7 games. The Spurs and OKC will have 3 to 4 days of rest. That's an advantage there, right? So I think me personally, if I were to say, I think the Knicks would probably compete. They're not going to get swept. It's not. I don't think they're going to get like completely dominated or swept. But I think it can go to 6 to 7 games if they play like this.